to start, and yeah. So the topic we are gonna be talking about is learning English. And I guess this is one of the topics you are going to talk to lots of people throughout your life. And my very first question is, why are you learning English? So Diana, can I start with you? Why are you learning English? What's the reason behind that?
Well, basically, I started learning English about 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago, since I was between 14 and 15 years. And basically, it was because I like very much the English language. I always liked to listen to English music, watching English movie. So basically, because of this, and nowadays I'm here on trying to improve my English so I can be more fluent. I can speak more in the daily life here. So basically, because of this.
Very good, very good. And you, Alvaro, why are you learning English?
I started my journey in English in 2018. In that year, I don't know exactly, but I think it's because I always like too much the international music, especially in English. And I remember to see there are this some colleagues of a course that I did. It's not a English course, just a random course. And I see a girl talking in English with another girl, and seeing that I uh, it's very beautiful for me. The people talking in English. I think to myself, I see, one day I would like to be fluent in English. And for me, English is very important, I guess, in your life. Is because it's a language that connects all the world. Wherever you travel at the world, if you have the English you can to communicate with the others, and I think it's very important. I like to learn other languages too, but English is very special for me, very important.
Very good, very good. And for you, Paulina, why are you learning English?
Ih, deu ruim aqui.
No problem. I'm gonna ask.
I am,
Okay,
I am learning English because I have had enough and I have a trip uh, scheduled for next year.
very good, very good. That's it. Take a breath, respira e aprende a lidar com essas emoções que já vão aparecendo aí, ok? Very good. And Felipe, do you have a reason why are you learning English?
Yes, I lost any possibilities, the any work possibilities because I don't speak in English, and more 3 times, and I think why I don't speak in English, and I know Talk and Talk and last year, and just it's time, not more lost possibilities.
And it's very true. When you don't speak English, you don't know how to speak English. I can see you lose a lot of opportunities, chances to change your life, to learn other things, to connect with other people. So the idea is not to be correct or perfect in English, but to develop and evolve your communication, your English skills. I don't have a reason to learn English. Like I don't have an issue with English anymore, but I need English to work. Basically, that's my job, and I need that to talk and connect with other people. You know, so I am learning Spanish. I'm back to Spanish conversations in August. I'm going to get back as a host in Spanish to practice. And what I do when I'm a Spanish host, I just prepare the topic and the questions. I listen and watch a video in Spanish. I try to get a word or two to put in practice and to really have an intention, have a goal to practice in the conversation itself, So that's the main reason. And I'm learning Spanish because of job opportunities. So that's pretty much. And also I wanted to learn French. And there's no reason to learn French, but I somehow I like and I enjoy the idea. And of course, as working with languages, for me, it's kind of something good and cool to have, to learn another language. And that status to be a polyglot, speak four languages and etc. And how long have you been studying or around this whole journey of learning English? So Felipe, how long have you been studying English?
My first contact with language was with video games, and I learn, no, eu aprendi, né? Eu quero dizer que
Learned.
eu aprendi. Yes, I learned with video games in my I don't know, when I kid, and but I don't study officially in my life. Just no, I study in 3 months and 3 years ago, but not more this, and I start in talk in year.
Very good. I started learning English when I was 9 years old in 1998. And a lot of people, they say, oh, when you start as a kid, it's easier to learn a language. Of course it is, but I couldn't speak. I learned, I had classes, I finished CCAA English course, FISC English course. I had private English teacher, and I couldn't speak. Do you know how I learned how to speak? Speaking. When I worked in IT, I worked in a company that they sent me to US for quite a while, and there I had lots of issues, challenges to overcome the fear of speaking another language, especially English, to understanding it's the worst for me. And I had to overcome that. I didn't have a choice. And by not having a choice, I could learn a lot. So Diana, let me ask you, how long have you been studying English?
Well, actually, I kind of already answered this question. I started learning English about 10 years ago when I was between 14 and 15 years old. And I did some English course. I read some books in English and things like that. And nowadays, just like you said right now, I'm having the opportunity to have more contact with the daily life in English, and this is uh, this is one of the most and great ways to learn how to speak English a little bit more, because we are having the contact and we need to speak in English, because if we don't speak in English, We are not going to communicate with other people around us. So basically this 10 years.
And why? Like, you're living in US, right?
Yeah.
And what's your main challenge living in US, and why are you, like, I think it's a question most people they might have in here on Talk and Talk, but you are living in a place where everybody speaks English, and you're here on Talk and Talk practicing your English or willing to learn English. So what's around that? How can you share a little bit about your experience in speaking in English here on Talk and Talk? What's the difference? What you can learn from here? Is it helping you?
Yes, basically, I already answered this question last week in the immersion here, and basically my main goal here in Talk and Talk is to have one more tool to practice English, because I'm here in the USA. I'm having contact with native English speakers. I'm speaking with my landlord every day. I'm speaking with other people around me in the supermarket, and in a lot of different kinds of context. But here is one more tool to practice my English. And when I arrived here in the USA, I was a little no. I was really afraid to speak in English because I was afraid to make mistakes. I was afraid to don't have a good pronunciation of the words, to don't speak correctly. So I was really, really, really afraid to speak. And I thought that I needed to have something, a place to practice this. And then since the days was passing by, I I I am feeling more confident to speak in English. And nowadays I don't have this problem anymore in my daily life here, but here in Talk and Talk still being one more tool to practice my English skills.
Very good, very good. Good to hear that. And I guess there are a lot of topics here that we practice, and not these specifically, but we have lots of different topics throughout the week. We have around like 80 to 90 sessions that you can book. And what I've seen from people is sometimes it's really hard to find those topics to discuss or to talk about in any language, not just English, but also in Portuguese. You know? Very good, Anna. Very good. And you, Álvaro, how long have you been studying English? And I'm sorry if you have already answered, but can you bring more details if you have so?
Yeah. My mother paid me a course in 2018. Is officially when I started my journey in English, but it's a slow course with a private teacher, but it's just once a week. And I doing it during 2 years, and the pandemic when the pandemic started, I uh, started to learn by myself. And I have a lot of contact every single day with English, and in 2021, I've started with a friend to having immersions with a friend, answer some question, random questions, and talk it during 1 hour, and it's helped me a lot and to being fluent, more fluent, and since that era, I don't stop it. Every single day, I have contact with English. I love, and I think it's very, very important to be fluent, to understand the language. They speak it. They speak it. Language is very important, and I continuing is learning and studying, and I'm here and now to develop my speaking skills.
Very good, very good. And Paulinha, how can you answer question number 2?
I have been studying English for 1 month.
Very good. Very good. Very good. And for all of you, do you prefer studying alone or with other people? Is it better to study with someone or to study alone? How do you feel about your studying process? Álvaro, is it easier to study alone, to study in a group? How is it for you?
For me, it works more better to study is alone. I started to study French, have a couple of months alone, and for me, it's necessary to speak with the others. The speaking a skill, but the others, I think, for me, is better to studying alone. I doing the things generally, I doing the things better alone. I am more a loner person.
Very good. And you, Diana, how is it for you? Do you prefer doing that alone, doing that with other people? How is that?
Well, I like to do it with a group with different people around me. And it's because of this that I really love to participate into learning English classes in groups. It's one of my favorite things about learning a language.
And what else? What's the main thing about this?
What? What?
What's the main thing about being in a group, being alone? What else can you? I just want to hear more from you.
Well, I can't imagine other thing that I could answer you because this is what I think about. It's because I like to share, to have the opportunity to share different thoughts with people, to listen to different things. So I think it's a more rich experience when we do it with other people. In my case, obviously.
Very good. And for you, Felipe, is it better in group, alone? How does it work?
For me, I prefer study alone, but in case talk and talk immersion example, I like study with other people. It's uh, a one studying mode in immersion, and I like too. But in contents, I prefer studying alone and how exact contents, mathematical or logical, and this kind of content.
Very good. And you, Paulina, do you prefer studying alone or with other people? You are muted. Você tá muda.
I prefer to study with a teacher because I think I learn faster.
Very good. Yeah. When you have a teacher, it helps a lot because it's focused on you, right? And I have taught a lot private classes, and I think it helps a lot. But at the same time, you are not exposed to real life situations, so it's like you kind of wait too much to start speaking with real people in a different situation, in a different scenario, and you get used to your teacher, then it gets easier to speak English. But when you go face-to-face on real life situations, it gets really, really hard and really challenging to face. Okay. That's it. Yeah, pretty much. Gianna, how can you share and exchange a little bit about your learning process, and especially the difficulties and the challenges you have faced throughout the English learning process?
Well, I can't remember that I have a lot of difficult learning English, but something that it was really hard for me was to unblock the the ability to speak more, to speak without having a text to read, to have something that I already prepared to read, to have a more free conversation. So this was the big challenge for me. When I arrived here in the USA, it was the same. And last year, when I started to speak more English in different kinds of context, it was really hard too. But I didn't had a lot or many difficult when I were learning English. I can remember that it was really okay for me in my process.
Very good. Very good. And you, Alvaro, do you have any difficulties? Do you share the same as Diana, or do you have different challenges?
I remember a challenge for me was create phrases and questions, everything about the writing skill at the beginning of the English learning. I remember I struggle a lot with this ability, these skills, and I having the same in in French nowadays. And another thing is the verb tenses. The verb tenses is very complicated for me until nowadays. It's a challenge, and sometimes I make mistakes in the tempos verbais. For me, it's very difficult.
Verb tenses.
Yeah,
And you, Felipe, is it the same verb tenses, or you have anything else that is really difficult for you? What's the most difficult part about English for you?
Yes, for me is are talking and how say Álvaro too. Uh, Verb tenses. I don't know. This is very difficult for me. Making phrases. How say Álvaro is equal to me. And this talk and talk, just talk and how say Diana too for me is talking is resume the it's my main difficult.
Yeah. And I think it's crazy because learning a language is something. You can learn English, you can learn the language, but when it comes to speak, it's a kind of pain in the ass, if I can say that. And it happens at the same in Portuguese. How many times you had to present something in front of your colleagues at work or in a school, university, and you basically you freak out because of that, just the idea of presenting something in Portuguese. So sometimes the communication skill, it's not just learning the language, learn the verb tenses. As Alvaro said in the beginning, like he was watching the YouTube videos and the immersions and everything. You learn a lot from there. You can have classes for free in English on YouTube, but how can you find a place or people that you can keep going on conversations? And I struggled a lot in the beginning to find people to speak out of the class. Usually people speak English just in the class. When you have a regular English school class, it's pretty much like that, how it happens, in, at least here in São Paulo, or what I've seen from students. So we have difficulties to speak because we don't have the opportunity to speak that much, you know, especially here in Brazil. But I've seen lots of Brazilians as well, like in Canada, where I lived, in Chicago, where I lived more than 10 years ago, Brazilians struggling to speak English in those places where people just speak English, because it's not easy, even to find people to have a good conversation. Alvaro, is this the first time that you are like speaking English regularly, like in a place, or have you had this opportunity before?
No, I speak it with friends, some friends in immersions that I did with them. But with gringos, for example, I don't have opportunity. I've just once or twice, I think twice, in another app that you pay for immersion with a teacher that you can choose in other countries. But just that, I don't have another with enter here in Talk and Talk. But after that, uh, and I don't have with other opportunities to speak in English.
Very good. Diana, what's the topic you enjoy much more talking, especially in English, when you see people that you are meeting for the first time?
Well, in the real context, in the real life, or here?
Real life experience.
Well, in Brazil, I don't have this opportunity. Just like you said, it's very difficult to find people there to speak. But here, I like to talk with people about life, about what are they feeling. For example, last week I was at the university, and then suddenly a student just came to me, and she did some questions for me, and it was really deep questions about life, about things that we can see here in the USA, and we started reflecting about a lot of things, and this is my favorite things to talk about deep subjects. For example, on what do you think um about people doing things in the capitalism nowadays, something related.
Yeah, this is the kind of topic I enjoy too much, talking and sharing and exchanging ideas, you know. It's one of my favorites when we get really deep into something and we can share our values, beliefs, and everything else. I think when we click on a topic with someone else or a group of people, it helps a lot to make the conversation flow, you know. Very good. Paulinha, what's the most difficult part of learning English for you?
The hardest part is controlling the anxiety and remembering the vocabulary.
I can imagine. For me, it's well, it happens the same. Anxiety and memory, it's really hard and it's tricky sometimes. So But for me, the most difficult part, it was listening, understanding, not a specific accent, but music especially. Like music, it's it was really hard. Nowadays, it's not that difficult anymore. I can understand not everything. Like rap music, it's really hard, even in Portuguese, you know. Felipe, what do you enjoy most about learning English?
Mm, I like I like I don't know. I beginner in English, but I like just talk and how do you say exchange ideas and share experience and um, and I like the talk immersion for this and I change ideas and now people and I like this.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. And you, Alvaro, what do you enjoy most about learning English? Is it the same as Felipe or it's different?
It's difficult for me though because I've enjoy a lot to read and to speak it too, but I can't choose say read. I love to read in other idioms, and for me it's more enjoyable. But I have a pleasure to talk in English too, and for me it's difficult to to decide. And writing text with some friends, I like to practice my writing too. Nowadays, in the past was difficult, but nowadays I like it. I Everything becomes more pleasure when you are learning, when you start to learning and you learning and learning. I think everything being more pleasure, and I enjoy it a lot. Everything nowadays, everything about English, about learning English, I enjoy it a lot.
Great. And you, Diana, do you have anything like about learning the language itself that you enjoy more than I know you have mentioned about deep topics and talking with people, but about the language itself, is there anything you really love or enjoy too much?
Well, what I am enjoying too much is learning new vocabulary. To It's something like I'm having a conversation with someone and then the person talks about something that I don't know, some word that I don't know, and I ask about this word, and I kind of memorized this word because I was in the context having a conversation, and then the person gave me an example about that word. So this is what I'm liking the most about the language. It's about learning new vocabulary, learning things about daily life vocabulary.
Very good. Yeah, for me, new vocabulary or especially expressions or phrasal verbs or idioms, etc. It's the only thing that I keep pushing myself to learn intentionally to use in conversations. Otherwise, I feel like my English is bad because I use just pretty much the same words, the same vocabulary, and sometimes I don't feel like I don't know, the imposter syndrome hits me somehow when I think about my vocabulary and the way I communicate, the way I use words and expressions in English. So, yeah. I guess we have one last question, and I want to hear Felipe first. What's your goal with English in the future?
My goal is fluence. I wish talking in English and is not more problem for me. And that's it.
And why is it important to be fluent? Why do you want to be fluent? What you're looking for?
No, I I don't I don't I can't lose other opportunities. And when I lost a job opportunities and my future, I can travel and I can this part is resolved. I don't know I say right, but this 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 part of language is it's okay. And I say other things.
Great. And you, Alvaro, what you're looking for in the future regarding English language?
Maybe a better job that involves languages and especially the English. A better job with a better salary that I've had nowadays. I don't have a specific goal. For me, English is very pleasure. It's not a goal, a specific goal. Is but I can say that's a job better in
Yeah,
the
it's
future,
it's
maybe.
good.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. Maybe
Mhm.
to, yeah, because we want better jobs so we can have better quality of life, better experience, and we just want to live life and to have a good time with them, right? Very good. Yeah, my goal with English nowadays, it's just like connect with people, meet interesting people in general, and well, I can travel, I can work from anywhere. So this feeling of I can choose which way I can go, it's for me, it's the main thing when it comes to a language, not just English itself. And for you, Diana, what's your goal with English in the future? Do you have anything, or like the communication itself, living in US, what you're looking for? Is it related to your job or not? Or yeah, what's your goal in the future?
Well, I think I could answer that it's something about my life in general because since I was a child, I always have a good connection with the English languages. So I always liked a lot to listen to English music, to watch English movies. So the English language is present in my life since I was a child. And this is something that I really appreciate. I really like. I really like to learn more, to speak more, to learn more vocabulary. So it's something also related to don't lost opportunities in life because of the English and about my life because I like the English language. And it's something about travel abroad the world, maybe live in another country in the future. May even I am living right now, but it's something temporary. I'm gonna be back to Brazil in the end of this year, but maybe in the future. I'm still thinking about it.
Good. Uh, uh, excuse me for asking, but are you an English teacher or something?
Um, maybe. Actually, last year I'm a pedagogue, so I gave classes to people. And last year I worked as an English teacher in a bilingual school in the state of Bahia, where I live. So this is my contact with the English language.
Very good. Very nice. Good to know that. Welcome. Very good. What else? Paulinha, for you, question number 10. What's your goal with English in the future?
É a 5, né?
10, number 10.
Ih, não fiz.
You don't have the answer for this one? So let me ask you the question number 5. Question number 5, okay? What do you enjoy most about learning English?
And knowing that I will have new job opportunities and being able to travel with is a passion for me.
Great. Very good. So people, we are about to finish. I'm going just to switch back to Portuguese, just like we don't do that, but I'm gonna do that just for a second, and I'm gonna